October Red Boxing, joined by Dmitriy Salita. Welcome back to the channel, and how are you?
I'm great. I love when I have to come for boxing in the UK, in London. Fantastic. Very grateful and honored to be part of this big fight on June 1st.
Dmitry, I'm going to touch on you first. I've just been speaking to your friend who you are always with when you turn up together at these fights, and he was very complimentary of you, because I said it's not often that you get a fighter that turns into like a manager, a promoter. Sometimes it doesn't always mix, but he told me that when you were a fighter, you were practically, on your last few fights, self-promoting yourself. You learned the tricks of the trade, almost like an apprentice. Talk to us about that, Dmitry.
So first of all, from the beginning of my professional career, I've been signed to some of the best promoters in the sport of boxing. Before that, I started boxing at Stereo City Boxing Club and was surrounded by many fighters that became to be champions, Olympians, incredible talent. Then when I turned pro after winning the Golden Gloves and winning the US Nationals, I was signed with Top Rank, who was the #1 promoter in boxing. Then I was with Lou DiBella. Then I was with Square Ring, which was a break-off of Don King. Then I was with Golden Boy. So I really got a chance to see all the kind of flavors and ways that different promoters worked. And then after my fight with Amir Khan, I decided to form my own promotional company. And so while I was popular and have achieved some great things in my career, I was not a superstar like Oscar De La Hoya or Mayweather or Roy Jones. So when I started to promote on my own, there was no TV network to say, okay, Dmitry, if you fight on HBO, we're going to give you 6 dates for your fighters. So I really started from the beginning, from a very basic club level shows to setting up chairs, ordering the ring, matchmaking, getting insurance, many times. So I understand and know the business of boxing from the lowest level to the highest level. And it gives me gave me a great experience, because when you work with people that have different roles in your company, you know what has to be done and how it has to be done, because you've experienced it. A lot of times you see these people that are very smart and experienced and great businessmen. They get into boxing and they lose millions of dollars, and they get out and they don't even know what happened. Because I feel like in every business you got to really know the details of what you're dealing with. And I'm very blessed to have had that education since I'm a little kid, from making weight to traveling to amateur boxing tournaments to fighting on Floyd Mayweather's undercard and Vladimir Klitschko's undercard, and all the different emotions and all the different things that you experience and that you see gives me an opportunity to relate to the fighters and to build my business. And I really am very grateful that, relatively speaking, in terms of being in the promotion business in a short period of time, I was able to reach great heights and represent some of the best fighters in the sport. The only thing left for me to go to the next level, so there is no #1. People say, like, who's the greatest fighter of all time? There is no greatest fighter of all time. There's lots of greatest fighters of all time. And in the boxing business, who's the #1 promoter? It's never there's a couple of people that are #1. So there's an elite level. And I've been able to, without a TV network, I've been able to function and do business with all the broadcasters and the top promoters. So one of the things that I need to grow my stable and for my stable to get the most benefit is I need a TV deal, which is what I'm working on. And good things will happen in the future. Once that happens, it'll be the next level of progression for my company, and I'm really blessed. Sometimes, you want to have a full 5-star course dinner from the beginning. That's our human nature. But really the benefit is to go through different experiences and through the challenges. And I had some really good fighters that other promoters wanted to take from me, because I was young and inexperienced, and I had to deal with it. And it really has been a tremendous experience for me, and I'm very happy to be where I am. Last year, did a show with Sky and Boxer, with DAZN and Eddie, with PBC and Heyman. And I believe for the sport to grow and for the fighters to get the most benefit, we need to be inclusive, not exclusive. Exclusive is not good. It's not good for the boxing to be exclusive, because nobody benefits. It's a nice thing to say, but it doesn't make any sense. For the sport to grow and for the fighters to get the best opportunities. So I want to be inclusive, and I am inclusive. And we want to make the biggest fights so that the fighters whose careers are finite can get the most out of it, get the biggest paydays, get the biggest platforms to promote their name, and the boxing fans can support the sport and really tune in and like to see things that they like. So that's really important, and what we're working on.
Very, very interesting points there.
That's who we are, and we're working on progressing that brand all the way to the top.
Salita Promotions then, you could have, I don't know, retired in boxing and ran off into the night, but like you said, you gathered all of that experience from the different companies, the different businesses in boxing, and you've created your own promotional company. What is it that keeps you in boxing? Yes, you understand it. Yes, you're experienced, but what is it that keeps you in boxing, Dmitry?
What keeps me in boxing is my love for the sport of boxing. I love boxing.
Okay.
The most important thing is that I love boxing, and I'm a fan of the sport. And being that I experienced the sport on different levels, I have a passion for it and understanding on the business side that very few have had. And there's a lot of very smart people, and sometimes when you read a book, you feel like you know a character, but unless you live the life, it's very hard to know the details. The minute details make a big difference in fights, in the locker room, in negotiations, and I'm very blessed to have had the experiences on both sides. And now they're calling us to go get this exciting press conference started. So let's check it out and we'll continue after.
This is Dmitry Salita, by the way, who's now obviously one of the leading promoters. I remember when Dmitry Salita fought Amir Khan, and I was trying to tell a lot of these young kids. I said, do you know he was a world champion? I said, do you know he was a world champion boxer? And now he's turning to be, there's like a power list of the top 10 most powerful people in boxing. Dmitry Salita is putting that stable together now.
Seriously?
Yes, a fantastic stable of fighters you got. Honestly, 100%. 100%. And his fighters are getting opportunities as well. So it's one thing having a stable of fighters, but he's giving his fighters opportunities.
So I was telling in my interview that for boxing to grow, we need to be inclusive, not exclusive. Because when you're exclusive, you rob the opportunities of the fighters whose career is finite and need to make money, need to promote their brand, and the fans. The fans need to get the biggest fight so the sport of boxing can grow. I gotta go.
He's gonna go inside, and I think as an ex-fighter, he knows that more than most, right? He knows that. But yeah, honestly, it's good to see him here. I remember, look, he's got Otto Volin, he's got Clarissa Shields, he's now got Jermaine Franklin. There's loads more as well, but I like him. I like Dmitry Salita. He speaks well as well.
And don't forget, Jarrell Miller.
Yeah.
Hi, and thank you for watching October Red Boxing. Like, subscribe, and tap the bell for notifications. You can also find us on Instagram at October Red Boxing and on Twitter, October Red UK. And remember, at October Red, we stay ready.